That was sad. Mass Effect 2. And here we go with the special Mass Effect 2 surprise. Which means Wrex can survive. If I choose. Or not. If I choose not. You will see when we get there.
It's a routine mission. Why do they always say that before a mission? Of course it's routine. You haven't done anything yet. It's everything that happens along the way. The choices you make, the paths you choose, that turn the routine into anything but.
I love his voice for this monologue.
A routine mission. Answering a distress call.
I'm going to turn it up a bit for you guys, because I love this.
We were testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was massive. I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Cade Malenko. A good kid, loyal, by the book, with a talent for biotics. We came across the lone survivor of the patrol, Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core. Tough, disciplined, ready to take on whatever came her way. Ashley joined up with us and took us to the spot where she lost her squad. That's when we saw it. The ship. Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted away. We followed the path of destruction to an artifact, a beacon left by a long-dead race called the Protheans. The colony had dug it up, and whoever attacked them had tried to take it. Chief Williams made the mistake of getting too close. It hit her with some type of energy. I grabbed her and threw her out of the way. And that's when it hit me. Hard. Every muscle in my body went rigid. I couldn't move. Could barely breathe. Everything went black. And then I saw something. A vision. Dream.
A nightmare.
A nightmare.
Oh, I was trying to get it in time.
By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen. Anderson came along. So did Adina, our political representative on the Citadel. With those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat, as was the individual behind the attacks. The main suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren. But even Adina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council.
Pointed
accusations? They just
accusations.
couldn't believe
It was him!
Elite Spectres could be guilty of something like that. They needed proof. Which meant I needed proof.
Fortunately, paid to see
I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian, wanted to help. A top agent for Citadel Security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren, and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them. That led me to Wrex, the biggest, nastiest looking Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen. He turned out to be more than just a brute. It was his intel that led to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be an energetic little Quarian named Tali. A tech expert with a knack for hacking, she'd procured some information on Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty. Tali's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and that the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But it went much further. Saren was trying to find a way to bring back a race of sentient machines from dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the mass relays to dark space, leaving no trace.
You know, in that first frame, it almost looks like she has a tail.
That explained why Saren was after the beacon, and it made some sense out of my visions.
Right.
But not much else.
There.
We couldn't
if you can see that
that
at all.
The Reapers were a threat, but they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre. My first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind. Giving
the first task as a Spectre is to bring down another Spectre?
He told me I would need it more than
they must be really confident.
He also pointed me in a direction.
That direction turned to be a person. I told you.
Adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia.
She is hot.
And like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other
She
species.
is really
was able
hot.
to help me decipher some of the vision the beacon had given me.
Really,
Nothing concrete.
really
It gave me some
hot.
clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari.
She is exceptionally
Her
hot.
technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant.
Ooh.
Ashley was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara. As commander, I know either relationship had the potential to interfere with the mission.
I'm not going to be doing any relationships until Mass Effect 3. I'm letting you guys know that right now. So, mission comes first.
I decided discretion was the better part of valor, and kept my focus on our goal. Finding Sarah.
If you can guess who
Thanks to Liara's help, we had our next lead.
I'm romancing before Mass Effect 3,
Sarah had taken
you will
me
win
to
a virtual
area
cookie.
where he'd enslaved a dangerous race of insect-like creatures.
Yep.
The Arachnai. He ordered Venezia to use the same technique Liara had used on me to extract information from the Arachnai Queen. The Queen's drones were everywhere, and they weren't happy. We had to fight through hundreds of them to get to Venezia. By the time we arrived, Sarah was gone. With the information, I tried to reason with Venezia, but Sarah had indoctrinated her. He had somehow acquired the ability to control people's actions and wills. Venezia wouldn't surrender, and Liara was forced to watch her mother die in her arms. And I was left with an angry, dangerous Arachnai Queen to deal with. She claimed her drones would do no harm if I released her. But the Arachnai had terrorized the galaxy before. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't doom an entire species for past sins. And the Queen was true to her word. She left and took her army of drones with her.
Bye.
With Saren's top lieutenant dead, he was quickly running out of time and places to hide. I tracked him down at his base on Wehrmacher, but we soon learned it was more than a base of operations. It was a breeding ground.
Bow chicka bow
Saren was
wow.
breeding an army of Krogan. He'd found a cure for
They
the
all look
genotype.
dead. They all look
Disease
very,
inflicted on the
very
Krogan to prevent
dead.
them from breeding and taking over the galaxy.
I don't think his army turned out
The
very
Krogan
well.
Saren was breeding were slaves.
Mindless
Mindless beasts that obeyed
disputes
Saren's
his
will.
I
I
don't
had
know
to
what
destroy the base and all its research. Wrex disagreed.
Violently. Violently.
Wrex wanted the genophage cure for his people. I tried to convince him to help me destroy it, that these Krogan weren't real.
But he
But he wouldn't back down.
What do you think? Are we gonna kill him? Are we gonna save him? It's hard to tell. Find out next time on Let's Play Mass Effect 2. Certain parts of it at least. Bye-bye.